Welcome to the SDA Housing Podcast, brought to you by NDIS Property Australia. Before starting this episode, we need to provide a general disclaimer. Information contained in this podcast is general in nature only. It does not take into account the objectives, financial situation, or needs of any particular person. You need to consider your financial situation and needs before making any decisions based on the information in this podcast. And you should consider seeking independent and professional advice for your personal circumstances. All right, let's begin.
Hello everybody, my name is Minh and I'm your co-host today with Debbie from NDIS Property Australia. And you're listening to the SDA Housing Podcast, a show that explains, highlights, guides and brings awareness about all things SDA in this ever-changing NDIS world. Debbie, welcome.
Hello, Minh.
How's your day?
Very good.
Are you tired from the Melbourne trip last week?
I've recovered now. We had the weekend. But it was certainly a long, busy few days we had in Melbourne.
Melbourne, what do we do down there?
Oh, we met quite a few people. We saw some sites and we went to the conference, the SDA conference last Wednesday, which was a full day event with a bunch of different speakers.
I think there were about 100 people booked for the event.
Yeah.
About 87 to 90 people turned up at the event.
Mm-hmm.
It was really good. A lot of architects, a lot of providers were there. And there were a fair number of speakers, Debbie. How many speakers were there?
Let me see, counting them, 5, 10, 15 speakers.
Sessions.
16 speakers, yeah.
Sessions, but how many speakers were there? Probably
15 and 16. So 15 sessions, 15 speakers, 16 sessions.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you get much out of the event?
Yeah, I did. I always get a lot out of these events. I think there's always new people that are speaking on a new aspect of SDA or some related aspect that we haven't necessarily been introduced to before. So I really enjoy going to them. I get so much out of them.
Myself included, but it's always hard to please everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that our host, Lynn, from NDISDA, she said there were a lot of wonderful feedback from everyone who attended, but there's always the odd person here or there who say it wasn't technical enough, the SDA information. And all I can say is really it's hard to please everyone in a crowd. Some people think they know everything and don't need anything. They want some more advanced information, but the presenters and the organisers trying to deliver a technical session on SDA for a large room of people. And it's always hard to gauge anyone's experience and knowledge in a random crowd, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And yeah, I mean, obviously everyone comes looking for to get something different out of this. And yeah, I think that doesn't matter who you are, you'll get something because there's going to be, with all those sessions and all those topics that are discussed.
Exactly. So what did you learn out of the event, Debbie?
Okay, so the first few speakers were ones that we've seen before as we've done the rounds of the conferences this year around Australia, but there was a few different ones that we'd not come across before, and it was really good to hear Ashley Tibb from Care Choice, who was speaking about the rapid hospital discharge program that they've been running now, I believe since the middle of COVID, getting people out. I mean, we know that in addition to getting people out of aged care, getting people out of hospitals is also a really important thing. It was also really good to hear Aaron Stowe from Architecture and Access talk about specifically a couple of robust participants that they built a property for and this client-centred approach that they've taken dealing with the two families of the clients that moved into that. And it was great at the end of the event. The final speaker was Nick Morris from Morris Godding Access Consultants, who's actually a paraplegic himself. He's a gold medalist in the basketball in the Paralympics. And just hearing his story, really inspiring, and just what he's doing now, which is amazing. He's accessibility consultant. He's also an SDA assessor. So, yeah, hearing his take on things was really good.
It's wonderful. One of the speakers there was Alicia Rathborne from Housing Hub.
Yeah, it was great to see Alicia and hear her speak.
She represents the Housing Hub predominantly, and she confirmed with us a few little things. And that was the Housing Hub and the Summer Foundation were splitting up as two different organisations to have two different services. But more importantly, the Housing Hub is no longer a participant procurement service. They are going more towards the support services for the industry. I found that quite, surprising, but at least that's clear now, because there's always been a bit of a confusion as to what the accommodation organisation did. Yeah, so they're more going to be advocacy work, I guess, now, and Housing Hub more of a portal and a support services there. But it was really good to meet her, because she's a bit of a rock star in the industry, and we've been meaning to get her for so long on the podcast. She said she will.
She did.
So we'll definitely get her on board very soon for a one-on-one interview with you, Debbie.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
But overall, I mean, Melbourne's always been a great event for the NDIA SDA event. There's a big demand for guest speakers and a lot of networking going on in the background. We always enjoy going there to these events. And after this little summary here with you and I, Debbie, we're gonna add to this audio recording some of the interviews I did, which were all 2-3 minutes only each, of 5 or 6 guest speakers, 5 or 6 people, on their summary of their services as well. It'll be good to hear in this podcast too.
Yeah, definitely. I know Min was sneaking around, talking to lots of people during the day when we had breaks. So I'm looking forward to hearing those myself.
Coming up next few months, we have we have Launceston, Hobart as well.
We've got a second conference in Perth in a month.
Adelaide and Brisbane.
Yeah. So there's lots coming up on the SDA conference. What do we call it? The schedule.
If you're in one of these cities, please feel free to go onto the website sdaconferences.com and look at the roadshow coming through your area, because it's always good to attend and visit and network with other providers and developers to see who's who in the zoo, and get more knowledge and experience in the sector. Because we go because we want to network and share our knowledge. That's why we go. Other people go to learn information to get involved in the SDA market from a property developer's point of view. So no matter what your purpose is in this sector called the NDIS, from a property perspective, we encourage you to come along and hear other people's stories, hear technical information as well, and just learn, because you can never learn too much in this field. Yeah.
Absolutely. Totally agree, Min. So yeah, I think it doesn't matter where you are, what kind of a stakeholder you are. These events are really, really worthwhile going to. And the networking events that are always held after the conference are also a great time to meet people that you don't get a chance to chat to during the day.
So let's just transition over to the audios now of the event that I had recorded running around, and that'll be us. That's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Amin at the SDA Housing Podcast at the SDA Conferences event in Melbourne. I'm here with...
Hi, I'm Maribel.
And...
My name's Will. We're from Buxton Projects.
So, Will, what is Buxton Projects all about?
We're a property developer in Victoria, mostly around Brighton and blue chip suburbs of Toorak and such. But we've got a couple of blocks of land, and we're looking into the SDA space, and we're very excited to be involved. Seems that it is a space with a lot of growth, and we're happy to be in it.
So you're new to all this, are you?
Yeah, we're just trying to figure it all out.
And how is this whole process of figuring it out going for you?
It's very tricky.
And how is it tricky?
Oh, it's hard. I mean, it's obviously a very young system, I guess. And I think there's a lot of maybe contradiction between understanding of the different experts in the field. So it's kind of hard if you do have no background in it to come in and hear the advice and sort of pick apart which parts to listen to and which parts not to listen to.
Gotcha. So have you been working with a lot of architects who are SDA specialised and also assessors as well?
So we're just doing our preliminary research at the moment. So we're trying to build that base of contacts. So when we're ready, we know who we should go to and where we're going to get the right advice from.
Well, there's plenty of people in this room right now. You can network galore and meet the surveyors, the building assessors, the architects. There's plenty in here. A lot of experience in here as well. So enjoy the day and have fun, okay?
Thank you.
Bye.
Hello. Who do we have here? Peter Lombo, how are you?
We have Mr. Lombo here. How are we? Mr. Maurice Jardina.
These two boys came from our last podcast many, many months ago. So how are you finding the SDA conference at the moment?
How are we finding it? We're getting there. There's a lot to be absorbed today.
Well, they're reassuring information, I guess. It's a good informative again. Yeah.
Andrew from your team told me earlier before that some of your clients who actually own land lots are now pivoting towards SDA because the feasibility of doing the normal build designs of residential may not be feasible anymore. So you're finding more and more of that coming your way now?
Absolutely. We're converting, if we can say that, traditional investors into this SDA space now.
Is there much resistance from your clientele?
No, we're finding that this is the solution currently in today's climate with construction, high costs and interest rates. Builders need to build. So this is a solution for the current times that we're in. So they are jumping on board on the SDA space. Yeah.
That's right. It's not so much a resistance, but rather it's a learning path and they're needing to understand this, be clear about it.
Gotcha. So, Mr. Lumbo, where do people want to find out more about your organisation? How do they get in contact with your team?
Oh, I think there's, what do they call it? The World Wide Web, arcsign.com.au.
How do you spell that?
ARCHSIGN, Arcsign Architecture.
Arcsign Architecture? No, it's Arcsign.
Just Arcsign.
Thank you very much, guys. See you later.
Thanks.
Enjoy me.
Hello, mate.
Hi, how are you?
Who are you?
Daniel Pilbrown from IntelliCare.
Daniel, tell us more about you guys. What do you guys do here?
We're a smart care solution helping people live independently and safely in their own homes.
Is this a new product in the market or?
Oh, we've been around for a few years, started in 2017, started in the aged care setting, but the home-based aged care setting, but now moving much more into the residential aged care and the supported disability accommodation settings.
So how's the NDIS market been for your business?
Yeah, good. No, we've got some good partnerships happening already and keen to expand and create some more.
Is there much resistance from the community in the NDIS about the product or understanding of how it works and everything?
Look, obviously it takes a little bit of time for people to understand how this can help them, but once they understand it, this is fantastic and providing really good benefit. Our current clients are loving it.
Current clients being the SIL care providers?
Yes.
Wonderful. So how does this IntelliCare product differ from other market competitors?
Well, I think we've designed it, sort of co-designed it with our clients as we've gone along. So we're making sure that we're helping them as providers of care and as the end recipients of care, getting the best outcome for them. So I think we've built it with that in mind. And also we're an Australian-based company. Our technology's owned here. The products here, my tech team, the people who code this and change it and make it better are all based here in Australia. So we can be responsive to each client provider's needs and make sure that we're delivering the best outcome for the individuals.
And I'm looking at the banner here, detecting activity levels, sleep quality, health metrics, fall detections, and much more. So all this from a device in the home.
Yeah, from device in the home. You can layer it up. We can pretty much take data feed from any type of IoT sensor or also health metric type sensor that as long as we get the feed into our platform, we can present that data in our dashboard or on our app.
Is this product funded by the NDIS?
Yes, absolutely.
So there's no reason not to have it in their
Reason
business?
not to have it.
Mate, how do people find out more about your organisation, your
They
product?
can Google us on IntelliCare and call our customer service line, or they can take my card here and give me a call directly.
What's the website of your organisation?
IntelliCare.com.au.
Can you spell that?
INTELICARE.com.au.
Thanks, mate. Talk to you.
Thank you.
Look who I've met. Henry, one of the old speakers from our podcast. Henry, how are you?
G'day, Min.
How are you finding the conference so far at the moment?
Oh, fantastic, mate. It's always good to come to these things and network with all the right people.
So what's happening in your life at the moment with regards to architecture and SDA, NDIS?
Look, we're still doing quite a few apartment projects, peppering into other people's projects as well as standalone sort of 15+2 HPS SDA projects. But we're also moving into MTA and STA as well at the moment, over sort of 6, 7, 8 level projects through Preston and north in the north of Melbourne.
Have you had many providers embrace the idea of 15 and 2 OOA kind of product?
We have actually. Some of these people are more under charities as well, and they like to have that, and they like to have the control. And some of these providers do split the 15 and 2 with another provider.
I value your opinion, but I'm going to go to Alicia at Housing Hub to get her to validate what you said there, okay? Alicia, I want to know, does your organisation embrace or sort of question the idea of a 15+2 OOA apartment model, the concierge model being 10 and 1, as we've traditionally known it to be? Some developers coming out with 15 and 2 OOAs. Have you seen much of that? And what are your thoughts on that mix?
Yeah, so are you talking about, I just need to ask you a question now, sorry. Are you talking about where you build 15 all standalone, or are they salt and peppered throughout?
Salt and pepper in a large complex.
Yeah, I mean, our view has been like, Summer Foundation helped create that model of the X+1, we call it, because sometimes it's 6, sometimes it's more. So if it's salt and peppered and people want to have that sort of experience, living an ordinary life and participating in the community and being a person that doesn't need to know anyone else that shares their support, that's great. But some people don't want that and they want to share with people.
I feel like having 15 and 2 allows one civil service to have 7 and 1 and then 8 and 1 and so forth.
Yeah, I can see how that could work in terms of sharing supports. But I think I would just say it needs to come down to how are those tenants selecting their support provider, what they can use it for versus can they still have their own support workers coming in for their day-to-day routines. I think that would be best practice and what most people are looking for. However, I think it's great if there's like innovation with lots of different models emerging that meet lots of different needs for participants where they're up to. So you don't know where people are coming from. Some people are coming from a quite independent setting and they might have been really independent and had an accident and acquired a disability and want to go back to something like that because they've had that experience. Other people might have come from an institution and are looking for a bit more support and knowing someone's there a bit more. So I think it's like, think about the participant and what they need.
Wonderful. Last question. Are there any announcements coming out from your organisation in the coming future about anything at all?
Yeah. So the Housing Hub, we've just reached our 5-year anniversary since we started. We've supported over 1,000 people to get SDA funding now, which we're really proud of. And we're becoming independent from the Summer Foundation as a charity. So we're just working through that at the moment. And it will mean we still deliver our same services, but it will mean that we are an organisation with separate board that will have at least 50% people with a lived experience of disability, and we'll continue doing that work in the community with people with disability.
So you were formerly the 2IC and now you're going to be the 1IC in the new organisation?
Yes. So I have been the person, lots of different roles over the time, but I have been the person who was recruited by the Summer Foundation to create the Housing Hub and grow it to what it is today with amazing teams. So I'll continue to do that in the new organisation.
Congratulations on all your work, Alicia.
Thank you.
Bye.
Nice to see you.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. Please make sure you are subscribed and following us so you can keep in the loop with all of our upcoming episodes. We would really appreciate it if you could leave us a 5-star rating, a written review, and just share this podcast with those that could benefit. Until next time, catch you on the next episode.